Father, I pray for them. I pray not for the world. You know, Christians today spend a lot of time praying for the world, to make the world better, to help these people over here. Now, we're not talking about being hard-hearted. We know all of the biblical teachings on ministering to the poor. We know the principles of a cup of cold water in His name. But I want you to see the emphasis of Jesus, not the exceptions, but the norm and what we ought to be praying for. We need to be praying for one another. We need to be praying for the church that we would finish this race, that we would be able to exemplify His glory in our lives on a daily basis. Father, He said, I'm not praying for the world. Now, John 3:16 says the world is condemned already. Amen? He's not praying for the world. Do you want to know why? The world was under condemnation, but God sent His Son to bring about redemption and to bring about the revelation that would be their escape. And they've rejected Him. Commit to faithful men is what the Spirit of God's been emphasizing in our hearts for years. I pray not for the world, but for them which Thou hast given me, for they are Thine. And all mine are Thine, and Thine are mine, and I am glorified in them. Jesus is glorified in us. Behold how they love one another. Jesus is glorified in that. No greater love is any man than this, that He would lay down His life for His. Jesus is glorified in that. The greatest among you is servant of all. Jesus is glorified by that. And that's what He's praying for. Now, do you think that when He ever lives to make intercession for us and He's seated at the right hand of God, do you think He's praying anything different than He prayed here in John 17? Did He change His mind? Is there another emphasis? Have you ever stopped and thought, what is Jesus praying for me? Well, Jesus is up there seated at God's right hand, and He's praying for that new raise, man, that you'll get that raise. And He's praying that people won't be upset with you anymore and cause conflict in your life and opposition and adversity. Read this 17th chapter. Jesus takes for granted the fact that there's going to be adversity and rejection. And His emphasis is on the eternal perspective. I'm praying that my people would come to the eternal perspective.